Now, as we mentioned, some leaders say now is not the time to reopen, including Austin Mayor Steve Adler, who is joining us now. Mayor, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Good to be with you, Ashley.
You know, tell me a little bit about your overall thoughts about the move to reopen those nail salons, tanning salons, barbershops, and hair salons this Friday.
You know, we know that by isolating the way that we have isolated, we can stop the virus in its tracks. What we don't know is, as we reopen things, what's the impact? We can't say this kind of behavior will result in us being able to avoid a spike and which behaviors don't. So I think we have to be really cautious. And as we dip our toe, we have to get the data and the information to see what's happening with infections and hospitalizations. Of the things that are being reopened, the kinds of things that concern me the most are things like barbershops and nail salons. I'm real concerned about the barbers and the stylists who over the course of a day are going to have that kind of close contact with somebody, 10, 11, 12 people a day. I don't know. I just don't think we can adequately protect them, and we don't know if the face covering is going to be enough, if gloves are going to be enough. So I'm concerned for those people. I won't be going to a barber and I'm getting a little scraggly now, I know that, but I'm not going to do that. I want to see the data. And it's going to take us 3 or 4 weeks until we can see what happens to hospitalizations because of the behaviors we're doing now. We've worked really hard to avoid a surge. I'm hopeful that we'll give ourselves the time to see the data. And what we're preparing right now, frankly, is a trigger so that we can go to the community now and say, hey, if we ever get to the place where we have X number of hospitalizations on a given day, don't know what that number is. The scientists and modelers are working on that now. That way we'll be able to go to the community and say, let's all watch it day to day. And if it gets to this place, then we're going to need to take action. That's where we are now.
You know, also included in the order from the governor is the ability for pools to reopen. Do you have any plans to allow city pools to reopen?
The answer to that is no. Again, for the same reason. We don't know what these additional physical and interactions are going to cause. So pools, libraries, things that the city can control, we're going to keep closed. We're not asking city employees to come to work unless they're essential, at least through the end of the month, until we can see what happens with the numbers. I just don't want us to take chances. This is still a very deadly disease. It's still a very infectious disease, and we need to treat it that way. Even the governor's order says that we should avoid social gatherings. We should stay at home with our family units, except for essential businesses and reopened businesses. That's the governor's order. He's recommending everybody wear face coverings. We should all be wearing face coverings. No one should be going into any business if they're not requiring everybody to wear face coverings. If we want what the governor is trying to do to be most successful, then we need to engage in these behaviors.
You know, really quickly, Mayor, because we're running out of time, you said you plan to extend some orders later this week. I just want you to tell us, you know, the authority that you'll have to extend orders given the governor's orders.
The governor's order says that cities are not allowed to adopt orders that are in conflict with his. That's always been the rule. We've issued our orders. We're going to issue another one either tomorrow or Friday that allows people to go to all of the reopened businesses that the governor has. So our order is not going to be inconsistent with his. We are going to go into a little bit more detail of what's required of people when they're like on construction sites and the like. So it'll be our old orders extended for time, but including the provisions that the governor has changed.
Mayor Adler, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We certainly appreciate it. KVUE News at 6 will continue right after this.